Hello, hello, hello. I'm not one to actually wait on people to come in. If you catch the replay, you catch the replay once you come in. Let me just go ahead and say thank you so much for viewing Conversations with Coco today. It's just a lot of things that's in my spirit and on my mind. Um, I actually just heard a live and it's done something to me. I actually had an encounter this morning. Um, the funeral home had to come by today for me to sign some papers regarding my deceased daughter. And I broke this morning. I broke because seeing the funeral home name at the top, seeing my daughter's name and the address where we found her, knowing that I had to sign something that's another proof, in fact, that she's dead, did something to me this morning. And I broke, you know, I cried. And I'm so grateful that I have a support team out of this world. Immediately, I called my spiritual mom, and I know some of you I don't know anything about that, but I called my spiritual mom, my apostle, and immediately she picked up and she could hear, because I'm a strong person, yeah, I'm a hard nut to crack, to be honest. Um, and if I don't see y'all in the chat, I'm sorry. But hello to everybody who will view this or who is viewing this. Um, I'm a hard nut to crack. When you grow up around dudes, you know, you become hard like a dude. And so my biggest influences was my brothers and my granddad and uncles and stuff like that. So I don't typically carry myself in mannerism like when it comes to emotions. I don't really carry my emotions around as a female. I actually, I'm a hard nut to crack. But it's something about seeing your child's name on a funeral paper and knowing that, you know, they're gone and it breaks you. Okay. So just imagine how I felt this morning when I clicked on a um, content creators live to hear yet again someone threatening to do something to her child. When did this become okay for adults, anybody over the age of 18, okay, to attack kids and it's okay? See, because I don't know where this new breed is coming from. See, I'm old school in the game now. I used to be new school. Now I'm old school in the game. And I'm glad that I came up in the era that I came up where we learned the patterns of old school. And there's a certain way you carry yourself and a certain way you don't. The old school gangsters, they dressed a certain way and you knew who they was. You knew who the pimp was, you know who the gangster was, and it was a code that they actually lived by. And there's two things that they didn't do. They didn't mess with women and they didn't mess with kids. This new breed, they don't respect nothing. And I'm wondering where the breakdown happened. I'm wondering how did the kids that's now 40 to 50 years old are so much different from the ones that's 30 on down. I wonder where that break came from. But nevertheless, it bothers me, and usually when stuff bothers me, I pray about it and then, I let God speak to me. So I don't know if this live is gonna be for everybody because I'm going scripture based today, and then I'm gonna give my opinion about a whole lot of stuff, and then I'm out of here. Okay. So God loved the children so much. There's a song that was dedicated to him. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, Jesus loves me. For the Bible tells me so. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong, they are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me, for the Bible tells me so. When I went to Sunday school, we learned that song. And I'm learning that a lot of people miss church. They miss the fundamentals of life. Even if you didn't stay, you got the fundamentals of life. Sunday school taught you how to deal with situations, how to deal with struggles, and how to deal with life. You learned your foundations from Sunday school, going in the church early before morning day service, going in there, sitting in front of a teacher, and learning the B values, you know, learning different things. And that's the difference. That's the difference between the age group 40 up from the age group 30 down. There's been a break in belief. There's been a break in Bible. Okay, whether you're Christian or not, Bible, which is basic instructions before leaving Earth. Because anybody with a grain of salt who actually went to Sunday school realizes that the children are tender to God. He actually hears them before he hears you. And, you know, I was reading and where is it at? Because I used to put this up under my kids' pillow when they were younger, and God did exactly that. He kept my children. You know, there is a verse that says Isaiah 54 and 13. And it says, "And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of thy children." Stop. That's the problem. You're not teaching, these people didn't get taught about the Lord. It says, "All thy children shall be taught about the Lord." Hey, 77777. I'm gonna read it again. It says, "And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of thy children." So when you give your kids the fundamental of God, of who He is, when you start them off and their base is the Bible, or their base is the belief system, when they get older, they may stray, but they'll always have those principles. So what I'm seeing now is some adults with the missing element, which is the foundation, which I'm talking about, which is scripture. They don't have it. They've never had it. It's absent, and you can tell by the way that they deal with their everyday lives. These are the same people that probably, when they walk in somewhere and they don't get what they want, they cuss out the people that's behind the counter. They cuss out, it ain't our fault your credit card ain't swiping. It's not our fault that your ATM card don't work. You cussing me out. You want what I'm selling you, but you cussing me out. Do you think you have money in there? I mean, these are the same people. You can tell they have no base. It's like a place without walls. Anything goes in, anything comes out. So they have no problem talking about your child in a derogatory, a bad way. And that's bad. That's bad, because when you're an adult, the Bible states, when I was a child, I did as a child. But when I became adult, I put away my childish things. So I'm in my adult life. I can't handle situations like I would as if I was still 15, if I was still 12, if I was still 9. You know, you took my bubble gum Or you took my chewing gum, now I'm ready to beat you up. Or you walked past me and you didn't speak, so now I'm gonna pull your hair and we're gonna fight. What kind? Huh? Say who? It don't work like that. Some of us got stuff to lose. You understand what I'm saying? Some of us got stuff to lose. So we deal with things way differently than we would if we didn't have nothing to lose. But you can always tell those who got something and those who don't have anything. Because the ones that don't have anything has no problem doing whatever. They have no boundaries. Like I said, it's like a building with no walls. Anything goes in, anything goes out. They have no uh control over their emotions, over their mental, over what they say, how far they go. They have nothing that stops them. And it all goes back to not having that fundamental base. And a lot of people, even if they didn't go to Sunday school, they had Big Mama, they had Granny that would teach them the fundamentals of how you do things. You say yes, ma'am. You say no, ma'am. You say yes, sir. You say no, sir. You finish your food before you start drinking. You do your homework before you go outside. When I send you to school, I send you to school to learn, not to talk back to the teacher. You're not the teacher. You haven't graduated. You don't know anything yet. You're there to learn. If there's an issue, you come home and tell me, and I take up the cross. See, those are fundamental learning everyday lessons that you get when your structure is strong when you're growing up. It's always easy to see those that didn't get that because of how they deal in their adult life. It's always easy to see it. Here's the thing, whatever you lose, if you got it once, you can get it back again. And I ain't gotta step on you, I mistreat you, I dog you to get it. I'ma get it because it's in me to get it. Because I'm a go getter. I understand what my foundation is. Anything that does not have a foundation, y'all will not stand. That goes if you don't have a foundation in your attitude. Hey, Black Butterfly, if you don't have a foundation in the way you deal with your business, if you don't have a foundation when it comes to paying bills, if you don't have a foundation when it comes to what you eat and put in your temple, because your body is the first temple. If you're not feeding your mind with a lot of positive stuff, you have no foundation. So what goes in you gonna come out. You can tell when a grown person was reared or raised correctly. Because even if they stray, they ain't gonna go too far from what they believe. They'll test them waters, which is true, but they ain't gonna go too far out of that because something in their mind or something in their spirit or something in their heart gonna say, okay, now you don't went too far. That's what I'm trying to say. You can tell fundamentals, you can tell foundational people, solid people. And it's just like the president that we have now. I refuse to say his name. It's just like people who support him. People support, hey, Lady P, people support people after their own kind. And you wondering why we went from having somebody like Obama, who was educated, humble, never raised his voice, carried himself in an upstanding manner, very intelligent. If he didn't know, he studied to find out, to what we got now. Again, a building with no walls. Anything goes out, anything comes in. He says what he wants to say, whether it's right or wrong. He don't correct it. He don't change it. He could say Martians just landed in your backyard, and you can say no, it's not. He could say, oh well. Thank you, Lady P. Thank you, sweetie. That's my sis right there. I'm just saying, y'all. When do we get the? When do we come a people who dog kids, or who threatens to smack somebody? I'm bewildered. I'm sitting over here like, huh? And this is YouTube. This ain't even real life. What I mean by that, y'all don't know each other in real life. We don't know each other in real life. And this YouTube got you upset like that? But to go after a child. That's like to me if you go after the elderly, somebody who's in a wheelchair who can't walk, somebody who when they become older, they go back to their second childhood. And if you live long enough, honey, my grandmother used to say, just keep living. If you live long enough, that's gonna happen to you. You go back to your second childhood. And so when people are like it, they can't defend, they can't fight for themselves. They need somebody who cares and have a heart to fight for them. Anytime I see a strong person pick on somebody weak, to me, you're a coward. That's not how we do it in the street. Which I'm not in the street no more, but I ain't that far removed. Let's just get into it. That's not how you do it in the street. If you bad, you go for the baddest. You don't go for the weak one. That don't make you look good. And a child is weak. I'm talking strength wise. An older person is weak, strength wise. So you can walk up to some, and when I see these videos of these workers in these hospitals, and they walk up to these old people, now don't get me wrong, I got a CNA degree. Okay, I keep my certification. I never know when I have to go back. I have a CNA degree, and some of these people are so out of their mind. They smack you, they'll scratch you, they try to bite you because they feel like you're hurting them. That's all they know. They don't know their surroundings, none of that. But you have to have enough training and love in you to say, this woman just smacked me, but I ain't gonna smack her back. She don't know what she doing. So when I see these people in these hospitals and these nursing homes, and they smacking people, these people are pulling their hair, and that hurts me because I'm always for the underdog. And the Bible states, whatever you did unto my least ones, you've done it also to me. So this is what I'm going to say. Those people that keep coming and keep doing nasty, derogatory, hateful things to kids, or to whoever God considers the least ones, you got to know it's coming back because he fights for them. Like I said, this might not be for everybody because I'm scripture based today. This might not be for everybody, and it's okay. It's okay. I like to laugh and kiki too, but when stuff get in my spirit, I have to address it as such. And then when you read and you go to chapters Psalms 127, and then you go to verse 3, it says, "Children are the heritage of the Lord." Heritage of the Lord. Not, you may think it's my child or Lady P's child, Black Butterfly's child. You may, okay, but they inheritance from the Lord. That's what you don't understand. And the fruit of the womb is his reward. So whatever you do to a kid, it's coming back. It's coming back. But here's the thing, when it returns, it's not going to be just that one thing. It's going to be times 7. And I know when you argue and you in war and you fight, okay, that's a whole nother thing. But even in war and fighting, they don't put kids on the front line. Now, show me. There's an age limit to everything. Even joining the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines. There is an age requirement. You have to be a certain age before you go in. I'm just saying. So it bothers me. Like I said, I'm a parent who lost a child. Now, God kept my kids when they were younger, like he promised me he would, because like I told y'all, them scriptures I put up under their pillow and prayed over them and all this and stuff. Now, when they get older, that's on them. They were taught right, and they can fight for themselves. But when they're a kid, that's my responsibility all day, every day. So all I'm gonna say is, like I said, this is crazy. In by me being a counselor, I instantly, that training kicks in when I hear stuff, and the diagnosis and stuff begin to just rattle, and I'm like, This person's dealing with such. It just comes in. And I'm telling y'all, a lot of these people on YouTube, they need therapy. For real. They need a couch. They need to lay on the couch and get to talking to somebody and get some medication to balance some of this out. Because some of this is mental. No, 89% of it is mental. The other part is just evil. And so when it comes to the evil side, you better get to know the Lord. And again, I know this is YouTube, but have y'all not noticed that things is changing and they changing swiftly? Things is changing quick. They changing swiftly, and it's never going to go back to the way you used to do with things. This will never go back to the way it used to be. The change is here. And there's some separations that's going on. Separating is happening right before your eyes and you can't see it. If I have to come on YouTube and if I have to go against who I am as a person just to get numbers in my chat, just for me to reach 1,000 so I can start getting whatever they call it mess or whatever, I don't need it. I have to be, and this is just me. I ain't throwing off on nobody else. This is Coco. I have to be able to look at myself in the mirror. I see me every day. I have to be able to deal with myself. I have grandkids. I have to be able to deal to know that every day I did the best I could to make a legacy for my children's children. I can't come on here and do all this other crazy stuff for a check. Really? For a check. That's the difference between a sellout. That's to me people who will sell out their own kind because somebody promised you something. That's why you have so many black people that support, like I said, the man that's running the United States right now. You have so many black people supporting him because they sell out. And that's all I can say. Yes, business. Okay, I can understand you looking up to the person because of some business dealings. But to me, even with that, he wasn't that great of a businessman. I've seen better. I've seen better. Like Ben Carson. Ben Carson, I've oh, I'm not gonna get started on that because that take away from it. But y'all better open up your eyes. Things is changing quickly. And you're gonna need some people that you dogging, that you don't have nothing good to say about. You're gonna need some of them people around you as times change. Especially if you don't have a foundation of your own. If you don't know who you are and you look for other people to validate who you are by acting a fool, and that gives you the accolades that you feel like you need, something's wrong with that. That means when these people are not around you, you are nobody. That you sit in your whatever you have, your duplex, your mobile home, your house, your apartment, and you sit there and be depressed as heck because you have nobody cheering you on for the way that you act. So you come on here and create this persona so that you can get the yay and go on and 1,000 likes and 1,000 people in your chat. All this for money. I've never seen I'm learning a lesson every time I log on to YouTube. I learn a lesson. And I'm wondering what won't people do for money? People's getting married now for money. They got these shows now. Let's get married. You ain't even seen each other. You just gonna marry people just making a mockery out of life. The Bachelorette and the Bachelor, and we watch these different shows. I don't, but I'm saying we because I'm a part of the human being race. We watch these shows and we get a kiki and a caca, because it's supposed to be entertainment. But when you take a deeper look and see what they're doing, it's making a mockery out of something that's supposed to be special. Another thing, do y'all remember? Some of y'all may be too young, but The only way that women could get help with AFDC at the time, and I'm old school, so I call it AFDC. I don't know what they call it now. And food stamps and housing and stuff is if she was married to a man, she had to go and let the government know that this man was no longer in her house, that they were no longer together, so that her kids could eat, have medical coverage, and have so she can get some type of subsidized housing as well as get a check every month. So what that did, yeah, it looked good on one hand because you got kids that was being taken care of and all this and stuff by the government. But what it did was it put a separation between man and woman. It took the fathers out of the homes. It separated the fathers from the kids. And where you had that strong male influence, when daddy came home, everything lined up and all this and stuff. Well, you had that man, a strong man that believed in protecting his wife and his children. You remove that from the black home. Now you got the woman by herself trying to raise a boy, trying to raise kids, trying to work, trying to do all this other stuff. And the man has no responsibility now. And then we get mad because now he's gone and he's doing what he want to do. He should be there with you. Well, how? How's he gonna still? Most of the people that did that and their husbands were still there, they had to lie, and the men were still there. And it used to be a time where your worker would come around once a month, would do home visits, and if they saw any man's shirts, shoes, belongings, or whatever in that apartment that the government gave you, you got evicted. Now, you can't tell me that wasn't systematically set up. Because we get programmed one way. And I'm telling y'all, I can't speak for nobody but two people, African American and Indians. And right now I'm speaking to my African American people. You cannot tell me that the lack of male showmanship in a home did not make a difference in how these people turned out. I challenge you on that. Look at the kids that grew up with their fathers in the home back in the 60s and the 70s and the 50s, and look at the kids now. Compare them. I look at the kids from the late 80s or 90s on up. Look at them now that didn't have a male role model in the home or in their life in any way. Look at them now. That's a difference. I remember even when the men used to shoot dice on the sidewalk, okay, because that used to be the game. They'd be shooting dice on the sidewalk. They see a woman or a child, they stop shooting dice, stand up and say, "How you doing, ma'am?" And let the woman, matter of fact, they move off the sidewalk, let the woman or the child walk on the sidewalk. Then they go back down shooting their dice. Try that now. Try that now. Them people see, they be down there doing whatever. Or they'll be standing there doing whatever, and they'll see you trying to walk past, and they, "Hey, B, didn't you see us over here? Get your," a cuss a woman unconscious wouldn't even blink. You can't tell me that removing a father out of the home, a black father out of the home, that didn't make a difference. Yes, it did. And that's why we dealing with people now that's grown and don't have no restraints about them, that just don't care, say and do whatever they feel, and no consequences, because they wasn't taught. So excuse me if I feel some type of way, because I feel some type of way. I'm just saying, it was necessary. They took the necessary ingredient that made up the black family and they took it and destroyed it. And even now, there were people on quarantine. It was so many relationships that were splitting up on this quarantine thing. See, it's one thing to say your relationship is a good relationship when y'all both working, y'all don't really spend no time with each other except what is allotted. But when you forced to be home with each other, and you forced to be home with your kids, you got to face the reality. Either you don't know your kids or your husband or wife the way you thought you did, or either it made the bond stronger that you had. It either tore it up or made it stronger. This quarantine has been exposing a whole lot, but are we paying attention? Are we still trying to go along like we've been going along with our head in the sand? In this quarantine, hey, Quiet Storm, hey, boo. In this quarantine, there ain't no way in the world I would still be doing things as I did before the quarantine. There is no way in the world that I would be spending money like crazy just because I can. It's like don't nobody understand what time it is. Anyway, like I said, it was a necessary ingredient that was removed. And that's why I love Good Times so much, because James, he was a hard worker. He was a no-nonsense dad. He did what he had to do for his family. And he expected to be honored, and he was. He expected to be revered, and he was. He was a man. A man. He wasn't in competition with his kids. He wasn't in competition with no other man. He was the man. And what he said went. Now, don't get me wrong. I know people going to say, well, I'm a single mother and I'm doing the thing and blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about you, boo. Get over you. I'm talking about how these kids grow up to be adults that don't care and still battle kids like they kids. That's a lack of parenting. That's a lack of skills. That's a lack of the Bible. All the things that you get on a fundamental basis. You learn these things, like I said, growing up. You learn them from Sunday school. You learn your B list. You learn what's good and what's not. And if you didn't go to church, you had a big mama, a grandmama that was faithful in the church. So when you went over Big Mama's house, she told y'all, you better pray before you eat. You always bless that food. Go wash your hands. We don't come to my table and do that. You don't start eating without praying. We're going to bless God over here. See what I'm saying? You got that somewhere, but some people missed it. Some people's missing that. But there's no excuse to be an adult with no control, because there's too much information out here for you to learn to be a certain way. Just like you learned to be rotten, you can unlearn it. But here it is. It pays better to be rotten than it does good. That's what they feel. Because you get instant gratification. When you do stuff that's against what regular, normal people do, that's right. I ain't never seen a bunch of people that don't want to do what's right. It's better doing what's wrong than it is what's right. I'm going to tell you something. In this society today, wrong is becoming right and ain't nobody calling it out. Wrong would never be right. I don't care how much you do it. I don't care. And like I said, if I got to become somebody I'm not just to get 1,000 in my check, I'll never have 1,000 in my check. And I'm good with that, because I'm going to be me. I have to look in me every day. I have to be able to face me every day. Yes, I want to make a difference in people's lives. Yes, I want to touch people's lives. Yes, I have a lot to say. But if you're expecting me to be something I'm not, wrong channel, wrong chat, wrong content creator. And in the famous words of Nicole Tyler, I said it. I love a whole lot of people. Do I agree with everything? No. And I ain't got to. That's not what that's about. If I'm for you, I'm for you. It don't mean we'll agree all the time. It means I'm for you because we have more in common. I understand you more than I don't understand you. I can stick with you more because you're not doing no foul stuff, So maybe you said something I wouldn't have said, but we ain't twins. We're not joined at the hip. But if you ever go gutter bucket on me, I can't deal with you. I can't deal with you. And to me, anybody who does like that with kids, I can't. I can't. Like I said, I got grandkids, and I am that grandmother. And my grandkids mean the whole world to me. And they always say, Nana, we love you a whole bunches. And like I tell my whole love you, I whole bunches too. And my oldest granddaughter has this thing when it don't make sense to her, she go, but why? And I be asking myself when I hear stuff, but why? I don't, I never knew she got that from me. It took my daughter to point that out. I said, Mom, what you say? You go, but why? So yeah. So I'm just saying, y'all, it's gonna take much on her. And here's the thing: a lot of people are not affected by it because it's not their kid. See what I'm saying? You're not affected by it because it's not yours. You're like, oh, and you keep it moving. But what happens if it becomes yours? And if you ain't got no kid, like I keep saying, what happens if it's your mom? What happens if somebody actually attacks your loved one the way that people are attacking people on here? That's like, I mean, it's some gutter butt stuff. I'm like, whoa, all this over an app? YouTube is an app all day, every day. People get this upset over YouTube. My thing is, don't share what you don't want anybody to know. It's YouTube. It's your television. You sharing. You're the star. You share what you want people to know. And if it starts to go sideways, back up. And then I heard people say, YouTube ain't my life. But every time I turn around, you on here 24/7. Actually, you're on here 25/8. It's gotta be. You don't give a person time enough to miss you. Can't nobody even say, well, where is such and such a? Because guess what? You there before the content creator there. And then some content creators, I swear for, I think they leave their page up all day, every day. You don't even see their little light go out. You be like, well, dang, what you do, sleep on YouTube? Ridiculous. What y'all gonna do? Okay, Trump wants to ban TikTok. What y'all gonna do if he bans YouTube? I'm just saying, let's just throw that out there. What happens if he shuts YouTube down? Oh, it ain't gonna never happen. Never say happen. Never say never. What happens? What happens if he shuts Facebook down? What are you gonna do? Some of y'all ain't invested. Even if you have kids, you ain't putting nothing away for your child. Even if you socked up on the mattress, you ain't putting nothing away for your child. Everything you got, you buy. At the end of the month, your account is zero. Actually, negative zero. Right now, if somebody say you got $50, no. And you can't even say what you did with it. It ain't like you paid the bills, not all of them. You just blew it away. Just blew it. But that's too much for you too. When people come on here and they start talking sense, that's not attractive. I've learned that. These conversations like this, people don't like it. But if I came on here cussing people out and telling you what to kiss and suck and lick and eat and all this and stuff, oh yeah, we gotta go over and see what's next. I am not a clown. I do not wear a red nose. I do not wear a fluffy wig, and I don't have big feet. I am not a clown. I'm not a puppet. I'm not anything like that. I am me. I am Coco. Like Sean Bradley said the other day, I'm Sean Bradley. I said, you better say that, Sean Bradley. Huh. And I know who I am, baby. I don't apologize for nothing when I know who I am. Like I said, the awakening of me losing my child has really, really did something to me. It's put a lot of things in perspective. A lot of things in perspective. So I don't get it. It's not like I was too far removed, but it's something about when you lose someone you love, things become a little bit more clearer. And you realize life is really a vapor. At any moment, we can go up out of here. So I'm just saying, it may not be y'all today, and it may not be your kids today, but it might be soon. Watch what you laugh at, because that laugh may turn into a cry later. Watch what you push. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you may be the one on the other side of the insult. That's all I'm saying. So that's all I wanted to say. I just had to come on here and just say whatever happened between the age group with 40 and up to the age group right now with like 30 and down. That age group, it's a gap. Back in look, I really sound old now. Back when I was younger in my day, parents weren't trying to be their kids' friend. I ain't got time to be your friend. I'm your parent. You got friends. Don't play with me, play with your friends. Your parents was too busy teaching you right or wrong. Or like I said, the Beatitudes. Treat people how you want to be treated. You say thank you. You say you're welcome. You say yes, ma'am. You say no, ma'am. True story. Me and a girl, it was a white girl. We both was going up for a job with the military department, okay? We both had an interview on that day. She went in before me, okay? After she came out, I went in. And when I shook everybody's hand, I said, "Oh, yes, sir. Thank you." I said, "No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am." Everything they asked me, I followed it up with yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I said, "Thank you all for the interview." Walked out the door. And then a couple of people that worked there that knew me before I got home, they was calling me on my phone and said, "Whatever you said in there, you impressed them. Because you're the one they keep talking about." And I'm like, "For real?" I'm like, "Well, if I get it, it's meant for me. If I don't, you know." By the time I got home, my phone was ringing. And it was the manager and said, "We just want to call and let you know we decided and we chose you to start working for us, blah, 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 and all this and stuff. And we love your mannerism and, everything." And it was because I said, "Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. And thank you." That made the difference between me and this woman. I know, Quiet Storm. That's because it's something in them that's rotten. It's something in them that's rotten. Why you think I'm weak or crazy? Because I'm nice. Because I know how to respect you as a human being. I don't have to cuss you out to get my point across. I ain't knocking you if you do it. But I don't have to cuss at you. I can say what I got to say. And a lot of times when I'm gonna tell you something, when you meet somebody and all they can do is cuss all the time, that's because they have a lack of words to put in those spots. Their vocabulary is not that well developed. So instead of saying, "I don't like you because you get on my nerves, you make me sick, you act like you," instead of saying that, you mother, and you act like a mother, and you act like a, yeah, because there's a lack of vocabulary words to fit in that spot. So y'all can study that. That was a part of my thesis. So I know what I'm talking about that. Y'all crazy, Quiet Storm. Oh, but I'm just, it is what it is. Like I said, I ain't knocking nobody. I'm just talking from my point of view. Do I have everything signed, sealed, and delivered and all perfect, wrapped in a bow? No. But the difference between me and people like me is we're always trying to improve who we are. We're always trying to make perfect better. Always. I'm always somewhere with a book. I'm always somewhere studying. I'm always somewhere. Like, you'd be surprised what I know. Every now and then I trip people out because I get to talking about stuff and they're like, "How does she know that?" Me, a girl from the projects. I'm gonna let you think I'm dumb all day long. It ain't it ain't my responsibility on what you think about me. It's my responsibility how I feel about myself and what I know about myself. So that's what I'm saying. Okay, me too. I'm Bugetto, honey. Projectish, but projectish ghetto, honey. But I'm I tell you what, like I said, if I have to sit among rich people, I know how to hold my own. I know how to talk. I know how to carry myself. I know what forks to use. I know what serving comes first. I know who speaks first. All that. I've been put in several predicaments like that, to where I had to sit among the elite people who, like within a quarter time they made $1 million. They really rich, and here I am sitting in hundreders. I'm a hundreder. They up are millionaires and billionaires, and I'm a hundreder sitting right there with them. You wouldn't have never known the difference if I hadn't told you. God prepares a place for you when you're ready. He puts you in places. That's why I said I can't let out. I refuse to let things get in my spirit like that, because I'm going places. And I raised my kids. You're going places. Don't get stuck in your environment. When my children were little and I didn't have a car, we got on the torque system and I took them out there to the rich neighborhood. And we rolled through the rich neighborhood. And I told them, look, see that house? Look at that house. See that house? Look at that house. Because I lived in the projects. That's where we live. But I got them out of their environment and showed them something else. I would take them to nice restaurants. This is this, this is this, this is how you order this, this is this type of steak, and this is how you order this type of steak. Yeah. Her. I know that's right, Quiet Storm Girl. Don't make me start hollering on her, okay? Don't do it. I know you right. I know you right. So I'm just saying. And then I hear a lot of people, well, I ain't got that type of money to do X, Y, and Z. You don't have to. Be creative. Be creative. Get a vision board for you and your children. Let them have their vision board and you get you one. And every time y'all accomplish something, y'all go circle it. It's a way to, you know what? Anything you want, you find a way to do it. It used to make me mad when my kids was little. Me and these people used to go out. And I still worked though. I was a manager, but we used to go out. These girls come home with these dudes. These dudes done jumped up and down in their guts all night, at least part of the night. The next morning, knock, 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 knock. I'm waking up. I'm like, if I ain't got to go to work, but if I do got to go to work, then, I'm already up. But I'm still like, huh? My mama said, can we have a cup of milk for our cereal? My mama said, do you have $3 so she can catch the bus to and from work? My mama's, and I'm like, did she just take a man home last night and you ain't got milk for your kids? You ain't got torque money? Huh? Your kids got on a field trip tomorrow and they ain't got no money? No, it could never be me. Uh-uh. Call me what you like, but that can never be me. No, baby. If you gonna, I tell anybody, it pays to talk to me. I'm serious. I get paid to talk, and that's the truth. That's all counseling is. That's all preaching is. To be honest, that's all public speaking is. That's all it is. I get paid to talk. You are not going to occupy my whole night, even half of my night, and my kids got a need, and you can't help me on that need. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Babu. I ain't get it. Or either when it's the first of the month and you get stamps, and these women let these men come in and eat up all their kids' food, all their food stamps, eat up all these kids' food, and then come around the 10th or the 15th, Your kids can't even go in there and make a bologna sandwich after school because that big goof that you brung home and thought that was gonna be your, your next, done went in there and ate up all the stuff. Now he's gone. You don't even know where he's at. You can't even call him. And then he don't come back around to the first of the month. Girl, please. And then y'all wonder why these kids act the way they grow up to be like dumb people. What have they saw? Indigo, hey boo. Right. What have they saw? What did you teach them? What did you teach them not knowing that you was teaching them something? There you go. What did they see you do? Did they see your house be a revolving door where Uncle Tom came in on Monday, and then Wednesday was Uncle Charlie, and then Thursday or Friday it was Uncle Tim, and then Saturday it was Uncle Sean, and then y'all started over again. Then you added some more uncles. You ain't got that many brothers for them to be them kids' uncles. And then if it's your brother, if it's their uncle, why y'all in the same bed? See, make it make sense. And then we wonder why these kids grow up to be the type of adults that we see sometimes on YouTube. That's just out of pocket. Like I said, a building without walls. Anything goes in, anything comes out. Have no restraints, no nothing. Just anything. It's because of what they saw. Or what they were not taught. So I'm just saying, I'm just talking about what I'm talking about. But like I said, it's no excuse because even if you wasn't raised that way, you can always reprogram yourself. 21 days makes a habit. You do something consistently for 21 days, it becomes a habit. So let's just say that, okay, say diets, because everybody wants to, well, not everybody. Most of the people that I run into are trying to get their health together because Rona ain't playing. She's making her places to and fro. Let's be a provider. Come on now. I know that's right, Indigo. Come on. Girl. Let me tell you what my auntie told me. My auntie told me, she said, honey, if you're going to sleep with a man, make sure he pays you in one form or another. She said, because every woman is a hoe. And I wanted her to explain that because I was young. She said, every woman is a hoe. She said, even a married woman, when she know her husband getting paid Friday, she have sex with him so good that when Friday come, he don't even say nothing. He just give her what she want. And most of the time, she take your money, take care of the kids and her. She said, so if a man got to pay for it, he ain't going to be out there running his sucks. And that's what my auntie told me. I was like, woo, woo. Ah. And then people thought I was crazy when, not everybody, but back in the day when I was stripping, taking care of my kids never knew. They only found out because they read my book. And they just found out in 2016, 2015. They never knew until they read my book. That's what was so funny. And I was glad because your kids should know everything you do. That's just me. Don't take your child's innocence. They should know everything you do. But when I was, like I said, it was me and a girlfriend. And people thought we were crazy that knew that we wasn't in no building like up under, let's just say, these different clubs that's in these different cities. I don't want to call their name out because I don't want to get, fined or whatever. But all these, people go to. But then you gotta, okay, make this make sense. I'm the one taking off my clothes and dancing and getting money thrown at me, but I gotta pay you a percentage of it. If it ain't pimping, I don't know what is. No, if I'm gonna be the one that's stripping, I'm gonna be the one to get my money, and I ain't gonna share it with nobody. It's my money, my talent, my body, my money. So I was on my own business person, just like my friend was her own business person. I booked my own shows and got my own funds. And I had such a reputation about I didn't play. I ain't have to worry about nobody trying to take my money or nothing like that because they know I cut them 2 ways from Sunday. So, yeah, when I met my husband, I told my husband, okay, it's like this, player. You interested in me? I like you too. But check this out. I got kids and they need things. And I can't have you with me if you cannot help me. Point blank, period. His next conversation to me was, what you need? Oh, Christmas is coming up. I need to go and get that Christmas stuff. He said, I have you 50 this Friday and I give you some more following Friday. Oh, you got that? Okay, thank you. What he didn't know, well, he know now, but what he didn't know, I'd already had my kids' Christmas stuff, honey. It was paid for and everything. You see what I'm saying? I ain't waiting on no man to do it for me. I'm their mama. I'm doing it. And whatever he gave me, okay, great. Put back in my pocket. I did extra. I don't get these women. I just some of these women I side eye, I'm like, boo, you need to sit down and talk to me for a minute. Just for a minute. Let me talk to you and help get you together. Cause you're making your children suffer and they don't have to. And they'll grow up being these bitter women, bitter men, attacking everybody that's better than them, even if it's a kid. I'm still on my subject. I ain't changed. Whatever happened to if you're an adult and you leave the kids alone. I don't get it. I don't get it. And that's just like, I'm not on the level of where Heidi Snowfly is, Heidi Flyucci. I'm not on her level when it comes to where she's at. Heidi's been consistent in the makeup industry and the lip kits and stuff like that. My head goes off to that sister. I ain't mad at her for that. Because what it shows me is if she can do it, if I stay diligent in what I'm doing and walking in my own ministry, ain't nothing I can't do. See, people look at that the wrong way. They look at she thinks she all that. No, you think I'm all that. But even if I did, I'm supposed to. As support of self-esteem. And that's what I teach my kids. If you don't think you about nothing, how you expect somebody else to? So my kids grew up thinking, okay, somebody, you ain't all that. Evidently I am. So I don't, my head goes off to that sister. Anytime I can support her, I do. Who she sleep with, I don't care who she sleeping with. It ain't me. I can't run two households. If she's happy, I love it. I don't have no dog in the fight. As a businesswoman, and I'm looking at her do her business thing. And like I said, she's consistent. And that's something that a lot of people on here is not. It's consistent. You start and stop. You start and stop. And then you get mad because nobody want to support you. Well, how can I support a flop? 1 minute you do, 1 minute you don't. Next minute you might, next minute you won't. I mean, make it make sense. Make up your mind. You either gonna do it or you're not. And I remember when I started my makeup line, I didn't have the money to mass produce. So I didn't get a chance to do it before the company switched the way they did stuff. And so my kids saw that I was, had my makeup line and I named my makeup after me. What better name? So I had my little samples and stuff and I was passing my samples out and my kids were so happy. Oh, mommy, look, it's got mama's name on, and they talk about that to this day. They like anything my mama put her mind to, she does it. She don't let nobody stand in her way. She's gun ho. She does it. So I would rather for my kids to say that about me than to say, "Oh, I can't stand that B. She was so this. She was so that. She had all these men. She had all." Hey, Rita Ferguson, thanks, babes, for coming over. You know, I'm just saying, y'all, when you're an adult, let's walk like an adult. Okay? Let's carry ourselves like an adult, you know. And if you're in a so-called beef sector or whatever the case may be, whatever, if you in it, okay, that's fine. If you're gonna argue and roast, and that's great. But it should be done in a way that kids don't get hurt. That's all I'm saying. Grown-ups can take care of themselves. That's it. That's it. So I'm just saying, you guys, I'm reading the chat now. Y'all crazy. Yeah, so I can't apologize for how I used to be, because had the woman I used to be helped me to become the woman that I am now. So, you know, I look back sometime and I think about the things that I've done and how the man upstairs has graced me to still be here. It's a blessing. It's a really, really good blessing. And I've met some really nice and great smart people on here. I've met some women on here that will blow your mind. Quiet Storm is one. Indigo. I'm talking about people that I go back and forth with. Bama Girl, um, TC, 5A, um, just different ones. I mean, this Serconos is crazy. Serconos and Q Robinson, you know, just different people. Different people. Even the BBK. The BBK was instrumental in some stuff. And I mean, I've met some nice men, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about the women who re I'm talking about the women who can you get it? Okay. The women that reaffirmed my beliefs that black women are women, can have their opinion but still be supportive. I appreciate that. Because we may not always agree, but we respect each other's opinion enough to say, you know what, okay, I don't agree with that, but I got you, sis. And that's how it should be, y'all. Okay. Thanks, Indigo Boo. And you got my favorite avatar. I love butterflies. That's who I am, girl. I love butterflies. I feel like that's who I am. That my life, I started out as a caterpillar with a whole bunch of things I was going through, and God took the time to just shut me down for a minute and change who I was, and He turned my misery into my ministry. So, hey, December baby, you another one, girl. Are you listening at work? Smooches to you. Smooches to you. Yes. So I appreciate, the women that I've ran into. I mean, just wonderful. Just wonderful, And I learn from everybody. I really do. So I'm just saying, y'all, when we hear stuff about kids or whatever, let's not take it and run with it. Or let's not go, ooh, like, now let's pray. And I know that's a foreign concept for people on YouTube. I'm gonna say it again. Let's pray. For real. We need to keep these parents up in prayer, man. Because it takes a lot to raise a kid and to raise a healthy kid. I'm talking about healthy mentally, as well as spiritually, as well as emotionally, as well as physically. It's a lot that goes into that. You know. And don't y'all think for a second, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna say this, and I hope Fabe don't get mad when I say this. But don't y'all think for a second that Princess Leia is not aware of the struggle her mother goes through on YouTube regarding her. See, you can't look at your mom and not know when something is wrong. Okay? So that's why I said we really need to pray. Not only for Princess Leah them, but for anybody. Prayer is free. You know what I'm saying? But you can't tell me a little girl's not aware that her mom is going through some stuff, especially when she get those DCF whatever calls and they show up at the house. They need to speak with her to make sure she's okay. You don't think it's bothering the little girl's mind? Like, why my mom keep getting these calls and I'm cool, I'm okay. Why do I have to keep speaking to these people? Why am I have see, okay? I ain't gonna get started. I'm not gonna get started. I'm not. But these are I swear y'all. Okay, let me whew. Let me tell y'all something. And I said I wasn't gonna ever tell this. It's only one person I've told this story to that's on YouTube. But I'm gonna tell all of y'all now. I'm not gonna go into a lot of details, but I had one of my parents, ever since I came into the world, hated me. And I think it's because I was dark skinned and I took more after my father, who is African and Indian and Caribbean, okay? He's African, Indian, and Caribbean. And I took more after his side, his color, than I did my mom's side. Well, I just told you a parent, look. And the relationship wasn't that good. I'm gonna be honest with you. For the first 8 years, my granny raised me, and I thought my biological mother was my sister, and I ain't like her. Let's just keep. I did not like her, and she ain't like me. Okay, I'm skipping. My put like this. When my grandmother passed away, she passed away a week after my 8-year-old birthday. When my grandmother passed away, all hell happened to me because my grandmother was my covering. Okay, when she died, I was left open because my mom at the time didn't know how to be a mother. Okay, think about it. She had a child, but her mama raised her, and she was still able to rip and run and do all the things she did. She worked hard, but she didn't know me. So now my grandmother's dead. Now you forced to get to know this girl that you don't like, and she don't like you. Because, like I said, for the longest, I thought she was my sister until my grandmother said, "That's your mama, baby." I'm like, I never forget that conversation. I'm like, She said, "Baby, that's your mother. I'm your grandmother." Blew my mind. Anywho, so I went through the CPS calling situation from my own mother. I'm gonna let them marinate because I know some of y'all like, did she have a reason to call? Absolutely not. Why was she calling? Because she hated me. Now, since, let me say this, because I'll be 50 this year, okay? Since she's apologized to me, she's repented to me, our relationship is better. I mean, much better. We hang out, everything, okay? But it is what it is. I cannot sugarcoat the beginning just to make the story sound good. It is what it is. And people know it. Family members know it. People who know us know it. So I dare not come on here and lie. Yeah. And what I found out, let me see. Yeah. What I found out, Indigo, is that my dad was older than my mom. And my mother was really, really in love with my daddy. And my daddy at the time was the catch, if you understand what I'm saying. And because he was older than my mother, he was able to do things my mother couldn't do because she was still young. And she had to answer to my grandmother and all this and stuff like that. Okay. So, you know, it just was what it was. Both of my grandmothers fell out with each other. They used to be best friends. But when my mother got pregnant with me at 15, catch it, okay? When she got pregnant with me by my daddy, who was 21, that did it. They best friendship and everything just went blue. So that left me. And my mama couldn't deal with the fact that I looked like my daddy. Like I said, honey, my story is deep. Anybody who's got my books, my first book really goes into detail, you know. And I still didn't put a whole lot of stuff in there because I knew my mother would read it, you know. And she said she could, all she read was the first 2 pages and she couldn't read no more. So she bought my books, but hey, it's poo her poo. She said she bought my books, but she hasn't read them. And I get it because, you know, it's too much in your face. I get that. I understand, you know. But yeah, we're better. But yeah, my own mother was calling CPS on me. It got so bad that CPS told me. Now imagine that. Imagine being a single mother. You going to school, you working hard, you on your own, you trying to be the best mother you can. Yeah, and at the time I was still being raped. I was still being molested, if that's a word for somebody in their teens or whatever. You know, all this stuff was still going on with me. My kids never knew. I still kept my man. But I had a whole lot of stuff going on. And then to deal with my own mama trying to get my kids taken away from me. If I never spoke to her to this day, I would be in my right, but that's not me. So I understand the fight that's inside when people trying to mess with Leah. I understand that. You get this fight in you like Tyson, baby. You be like, oh, really? Ah, okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Is that what you okay? On. I'm sorry, babe. I just now seen you. It's poo ho poo. I apologize. That's okay. You good. I love you. You be tripping me. Oh, she speaks so man. Yeah, I love her. I swear. I be cracking up when she come on live stream. She's like shots fired. She be locked and loaded, and then she disappear real quick. I be tripping out. Oh, oh, that's right, December baby. You have my books. Okay, thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, I understand being that mother, honey, that mother tiger and mother lion. Yes, sir. I understand. But you know, like I said, y'all, you know, it's that's not fun. That's not cute calling the CPS on nobody and they misusing that. Because what you do is what you do, the kids who are really, really getting mistreated, you take a caseworker away from seeing about that child to put them on a bogus case. So while you pulling them over here on this case, that child may be getting molested, beat, starving, anything could be going on. You know. So, but yeah, like I said, now, me and my mother, we much better. We break breads together, we laugh together. She called me every day, get on my nerves, it's better. But what it was is, and she explained to me too, she said, I'd never seen nobody with strength like you. She said, she said, I get my strength from you. And I know it. And I know it. I don't know how God made me, but however He made me, I embrace it. I go through storms and struggles. And that's why I tell y'all all the time, I need honesty, loyalty, and stability. I'm not playing when I say, look, if you don't have those three things in you, please vacate me. Don't, we can speak, but that's about it. That's all we're gonna do is speak. I can't deal with you because all three of those I need because that's who I am. If you ain't stable, if you ain't honest, please no. And you ain't loyal, kick rocks. And with open toe shoes on. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I know. I know. Like I said, we good. We really are. It's at times though, I'm gonna be honest with you, Indigo. It's at times where um I have to take her sometime in segments. I can't take her all at once all the time. Sometimes I have it's too much, and I'm like, you know, but the love is still there. Yep, that's right. That's right, K Storm. Quiet Storm, I'm sorry. That's right. But that's why it man, one of these days I'll just sit and we'll have a question and answer and conversation. And I answer any question y'all have. I'm an open book. I really am. I feel like it's if I did it, okay, now what? Because my philosophy is if God knows that's too many, that's a person too many. So I don't care if you know. What you gonna do? I'll wait. Okay, call me a hoe. Been called one of those. Okay. Next. Call me a bitch. Been called that too. Okay. Next. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And now that I'm plus size, you fat this. Okay, been called that too. Next. What else you got? What else you got? Cause that don't move me. I have thick skin. I know who I am. And in this days and age, you better get with a plus size. Get into it. So, anywho, right? I never forget. Right? You can be K Storm. You silly girl. Yeah, I don't forget, but that's not something that I always bring up because I'm all about mending fences. Like I said, I can be in the right. If me and you into it, I can be in the right. But just to put it all to rest, I tell you, I'm sorry because that's not me. I don't like strife. I don't like drama. I don't like strife. So I'll tell you in a minute, and I really mean it. If it means to put all this to rest, I'm sorry. Can we just go on and just keep going? Because you have to learn how to agree to disagree and still be adults about it. That's me. I may not get along. I may not say, agree with everything you say, but I ain't gonna fall out with you because I don't agree with you. We just two different people. We see things two different ways. Okay. Next. That's all right, Pooh, honey. We leading it, girl. We leading it. Ain't nothing like plus size. I'm telling you. 300, absolutely not. Moving forward. But anyway, y'all, I have been on her an hour and 18 minutes. Y'all are crazy. I have really enjoyed this. Let me see what she says. That's so me. I'm done. I will not speak ill of you. Okay. That's right. You don't have to. We like I said, we can agree to disagree. That's it. It ain't gotta be cause you don't agree with me. You ain't my friend. I ain't dealing with you cause you don't agree with me. Man, grow up. This ain't no playground type of stuff. We ain't in the sandcastle. Shoot. I'm whole grown in these streets, got bills to prove it. Trust me. Aches and pains too. My grandmother used to say, honey, just keep living. And I'd be daggone. I know what she mean by keep living, cause honey, some days I wake up, I'm like, my body, I'd be like, come on, body. My body be like, huh? You want me to what? Girl, sit down somewhere. I ain't ready to move yet. Okay. I will. I'm gonna join Bama Girl too. I'm gonna be over in the bushes laughing at y'all. But anyway, y'all, let me just tell y'all about some products and then I'm out. Um, I blame you for uh anyway, I got my own bath salt and scrub business. And mine's is different. I ain't gonna say it's better. I'm just gonna say it's different. Because some of the stuff that I use actually helps your body. Like I've studied different oils and things that would help your body if you apply to the skin, because your skin is your third kidney. So if you apply it to your skin, it soaks in and it helps to do different things. So I do have that. You have my email address. It is actually on my webpage. My YouTube page. If you're interested, let me know. I also make hand sanitizers. Like I said, I make them at a certain grade that I know passes to kill, you know, miss thing that's floating around and other stuff. Uh, the something that's different with mines is there is essential oils in them, and the essential oils can go in them and not break the grade. So like if I drop the oil that I put in it, it does not make it less than where it's supposed to be. It doesn't bother the strength at all. It just gives it an extra kick if you really want to know. So, you know, things like that. So I am an author twice. I'm working on my third book. Like I said, some people that's in here, they've already ordered my books. They got them, and they told me, they love them. It can't be a bad way or whatever because it's my story. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't no romance novel. It's just my story. And if you're interested in that, let me know. If you want a signed copy by me, because I am the author. If you want a signed copy by me, it's a little bit more. Or either if you don't, you can always go on Amazon and you can get it from Amazon a little bit cheaper. Okay. Let me see. That's all I'm gonna share right now. But I remember your BBK just went after 5 heartbeat night word. You are crazy. Okay. So I can't even go no further after that. See what I'm saying? She's crazy. Oh my goodness. Anyway, but that's all, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in today. For listening to little old me. I keep saying I'm gonna do this herbal thing. I want you all to, I want to tell you all about some supplements or herbs that you need to start getting now before October roll in, because this thing that's going around is supposed to double back and be stronger, and everybody's immune system should be at a certain level in order to fight it. So, like I said, I'm only, I think, 2 months away now because I had to stop. I stopped when my daughter was killed, so I think I'm 2 months away now for being an herbalist. And but I can tell y'all some good herbs and stuff. So I really want to come on here and give y'all a list of the top 5 that I feel like you should get. And then I'm gonna take some questions like if you have diabetes, if it's something you can get for that, if you have high blood pressure, so on and so on. I'm not a medical doctor. So I can only suggest, if you catch what I'm saying. I can't diagnose, I can suggest. So I will be doing that hopefully someday this week. I don't want to say tomorrow because then I'll change it if something else happens. So before Monday, I'll be doing it, okay? So anyway, I love you guys. Again, thanks for tuning in with Conversations with Coco. Smooches.